You're listening to the Electrical Company Marketing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping your service-based business grow and thrive using the latest technology in internet marketing. And now, here's the host of our show and the CEO of Grow Inc., Matt Law.
All right, everyone, welcome back to our next training episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about how you can use social media to create viral referrals. And so I know you probably have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and things like that. Even if you don't have one of those, I'm going to share with you how you can use other people's social media to help you grow your company and get referrals. So here's the problem with many service businesses. You are doing a lot of great work and not too many people know about it. And you're posting pictures on your social media account or maybe on your website, but you only have like 100 followers on your page, and they're mostly friends and past customers. You don't have new customers seeing that, people that are interested in your work. And so here's the problem. Most of us want referrals, but we don't know how to ask people to give us referrals. And when you get a project completed, how do you get these before, during, and after pictures in front of other people? So I kind of want to tell you a little story. In 2010, I was doing some consulting and training for a guy that owned a pool company. His name was Russ. And they were in the Atlanta area, more rural area of north of Atlanta. And they had learned just about unique selling points. And if you go back to our first episode, we were talking about how to say the right thing with your USP, your unique selling points. And that's basically what makes your company different. So they went out and they innovated with some really great innovations. And their unique selling points were basically they would guarantee the delivery of the pool on a date. Also would discount it. That was for people that wanted things done on a certain timeline. They also partnered with some landscape companies and aluminum contractors to basically give a discount if they went with these people, and basically helped them finish their whole project, did an additional warranty, background check their people. And so they had great unique selling points. And in marketing, we call that inside reality. So they had a great inside reality. But the guy did not know how to do any marketing. He didn't know about SEO or local SEO. And basically in 2010, Facebook was a fairly new social media platform. And so I met with him after he just kind of went through the unique selling point training. And he's like, hey, Matt, we doubled our pool revenues for new construction. And of course, being the curious marketer that I am here, this is a long time ago. He basically says they only use one marketing tactic to double their entire business. It's about $1 million company to go to about 2 million. And I'm going to share it with you on this podcast today. They didn't do SEO. They didn't even have a website. And they only had a Facebook page with not a lot of followers on it. But they doubled in size by saying the right thing with their unique selling points and this one single marketing tactic. And so here's what this tactic is, and I'm just going to kind of lay it out for you, is that you need to create a referral campaign for the projects that you're working on right now. This is not complicated. It's not hard, but it does take some time and planning. And you basically need to have all of your ducks in a row. And once you launch this referral campaign, you can get referrals from every single job you do. And if every job you do generates a referral, you are going to stay very, very busy. Sometimes they'll generate more than one referrals. It can generate lots of leads. So this referral campaign would not be if you're doing like a quick service, but it's for any service business that has a bigger project that has a before and an after. So there's like, here's before, here's during, here's after, and think of that in like pictures. So it would be for a bigger job, probably your highest ticket item. So if you do like service calls and fixing something small, this isn't for those, but this is when you sell a big job, a big project. And this would also be for someone that you basically has social media and uses social media. And what you can do is kind of just look them up and say, hey, do they have a couple of hundred friends on their social media channels? And if they have more than that, that's even better. But this would be when you're working with a customer and you do a Facebook search or a Instagram search and you say, man, they got a lot of friends, 500 friends that are mostly in that local area. This is going to be great because what we're going to do is we are going to partner with them and ask them that they share a before, a during, and after. And if they end up getting us a referral, we are going to give them some money or give them a discount on your project. So I'll kind of walk you through this. So here's what you need to do. When you find a project that you're doing that's a bigger ticket item, maybe it's husband and wife, and, between them, they've got, 1,000 friends on social media. That's pretty normal in our world. And if you're especially looking to do online marketing and reach millennials and younger, this is a great way because sometimes people are looking for something and they just don't know who to go to. So here's what you basically do. When a client fits your ideal profile and they've got those followers, you're basically going to send them an email or a text with a link to your PDF document that outlines your referral campaign. And so when we set it up for clients, it's part of automation. And so when a job begins, it will basically say, hey, let's do a task to see if these people fit this. And if they do, then we click a button. It sends them an email, it sends them a text, and it has a link to this PDF document. It can also trigger a direct mail letter if you wanted just to send that in the mail, which I think would be a great thing. That's all using automation, which we'll talk about later. But again, the document outlines your referral campaign and explains how it works and why they might be interested. And here's why they're going to be interested, is because it's going to allow them to save money on their current job and significantly a lot of money. And so they're going to be able to get their project done for a lot less. And all they have to do is really do 3 social media posts. And the process would go something like this. Hey, welcome. We wanted to share with you our referral campaign where we will give you 10% of every job we get because of your referral. So imagine if you're doing a big ticket item, maybe the service project is $8,000 or $10,000. They could get $800 for every referral they get you. And it's really easy to do. So here's what we ask them to do. We ask them to take before pictures of the project and post them on social media. For example, let's just pick a service industry. Let's just use the swimming pool. So they take a picture of their backyard and they say, hey, we are getting ready to get our pool installed. And then they tag your company on that social media. So this is the before, phase 1, the before. Here's the before pictures. We're excited to get started. And they post it and then they tag you. Now, what's interesting in the way social media works is like, if people are interested in getting a pool and they've been kind of thinking about that on even their Google search, why they're logged into Facebook, Facebook's going to pick up on that. And they're actually going to see their friends post with your pool company. So, hey, there's people that know each other. They're going to see the pictures and they're going to kind of walk through that. The next step is in the middle phase when there is a work done. Now, if you're in a pool construction job, this would take a long time. But if you're doing like new floors or something, something else, a fence, septic, screen porch for aluminum contractor, there's a lot of these things that could happen within just a couple of days. But they need to do the before, and they tag you in social media, the during, and they tag you in social media, and then they do the after, and then they tag you in social media. So like the during, like, hey, check out our progress so far. This company has done this and this. We're excited to have this project almost done. Man, we'll share more when we're finished. And then they tag your company. And then the last thing is that when the project is complete, they do their third post, they tag your company again, and they show the finished products, the final pictures. So what you don't realize is basically for free, you are going to get exposure to 3,000 friends. They're basically showing the before, the during, and after. They're all seeing your work. It's not somebody selling them, but it's basically a free ad. It's like it is basically an affiliate referral campaign. And so you're saying, well, why would they do this? Why would they post the before, during, and after and tag us in that? So you are basically agreeing to give them a discount of X amount of dollars. If per referral, you could also do X amount or percentage amount based on every deal you close from them. But it should be significant. And here's why you have to understand this. When you get a referral from a friend, they are not shopping you really hard. If you get a referral from a friend and you know it's a referral, they're more than likely going to close, and you can build a little bit more into that project on the profit side, because then you're going to turn around and you're going to give some of that money back. But basically, you're getting a new deal and a new referral, a new client, without spending any money on marketing. Now, you are spending some because you're going to pay some back to the referring customer now, but this is a fantastic way to get clients to refer you business, so you don't have to always be looking for the next one. And with referrals, you can build that into the price of that next job. So a couple ways you could do this. You could give them percentage off a dollar amount, and you could also give them a flat amount, like a gift card, if they even participate in the project. So if they're doing an expensive job, I would say I would give them something like $50, a gift card, maybe to Starbucks or something like that. We will give you a $50 Starbucks if you just do these 3 posts before, during, and after. But then we'll also give you $200 for every client that you refer to us. So now you've given them a reason to do it, just to get the gift card or whatever. But then you're also going to generate leads. So by doing this, guys, you're going to be able to share your work, not with just your 100 people that follow you on social media or 200, but literally thousands of people. And there's some things like it that you need to know. They need to make their post public. They need to tag you in it. But think about this. You may get 2 or 3 referrals from one project. Now, what you're saying right now is, man, that sounds like a lot to work. So don't worry about the technical side or the setup of that. You can standardize this and make it part of a process where it's not hard to use at all. But what I want you to know, think about this, is that imagine all the jobs you're having now. What if they each gave you 2 referrals, and then each of those gave you a couple referrals? And so we have seen this work fantastic for service businesses. And it works because, like I said, referrals are much more likely to close. They're not as price shopping because they have been referred by a friend. And so you can charge them, I don't know, 5, 10% more to pay that fee back to the other client. And imagine if they go on to share and you get another referral, you're basically generating free marketing for your company. And so even if you make a little bit less on this new deal that you get because you're paying out some money to the people referred you, they're going to be thrilled to get this money back and will continue to refer others to you. So when you start a referral campaign and you actually pay out on an affiliate campaign and people actually see tangible money, like you're doing a project right now and people get a check for $1,000 and they become thrilled and more likely to do referrals. So a few questions about building this viral referral campaign. Is this legal to do? In Florida, where I live, it is, but you need to check with your state and the licensing. In most states, you're basically giving a referral or a discount or a payment to someone who has helped you with marketing. So basically, they rendered a service and you paid for it. You may have to give them a 1099 at the end of the year, so you need to check with your accountant on that. But that's okay. Like it's a good thing to do. So I would check, just maybe with your CPA or whatever, or some state licensing, but it's a great thing to do. Now for industries like real estate agents, they can't do this. They can't receive money and give money for referrals. But if you are a home renovation contractor, a plumber, something, electrician, company like that, there's probably not oversight, but you do need to check in your state's rules and regulations. So another question is, what does this PDF document or this Word doc that I'm mailing to people say? So it basically needs to be in your tone, but it's that you usually get a lot of referrals, and here's how they can help and how you could save them up to X amount of dollars on their project. This isn't really a fancy document at all, but it can generate a lot of leads. And basically, you walk them through that process, tagging you 3 pictures, and here's what they get. If it's a Starbucks gift card, just for doing it, picture of Starbucks on there, and then how much they could make per client. We have one client that does up to $2,500 per client because they have some really high-end ticketed items. And then we have clients that just say, hey, we want to give you $100 just for sharing this. It's really up to you, but I would go on the higher side if you can. So here's the next question. This one's important. How do I know if I get a referral? And the reason why you can manage a referral campaign is because you're collecting the right information on your intake. So if you go back to our training on measurable marketing and UTM data, well, every time someone fills out a form on one of our websites, in our clients' websites, and the data comes in, we can see all of the data of how they heard about us. So it's really, really clear. But sometimes that data will say something like Google, like a Google referral. But what if they are a referral? So on every form on our websites, it says, how do you hear about us? And then there's a drop down of all the different ways that the company is marketing, that our clients are marketing. So let's say Google Ads, Google Local, Facebook, different things like that. And we do a referred by a friend option. If they click referred by a friend, then another field opens up and it says, tell us the name of the friend that referred you. So when that lead basically comes in, we see, hey, we got a referral from Sue over there. She gave us a referral. She's in an active project and she's been sharing this stuff. So if this lead closes, she's going to get paid. And so that way we can track that. Now, when a deal closes and it goes to the final step, so say Sue referred John. Let's just give you an example. Sue's building a pool. Halfway through, she refers John. Now, John gets into contract, but John hasn't paid anything yet. So John's deal hasn't closed yet. Sue will not get paid or get her discount until John's deal is done. So the final process is when a deal is closed out, we look in that column, say, hey, were they a referral? If they were a referral from an active campaign, an active referral campaign on social media, then they would get the promise of the percentages of whatever. If it's way after their job is done, we still send over a thank you card. So you still would send over maybe $100 or $200 referral. So every time you get a referral, you are thanking your customers every single time. So if it's during the social media phase, you're going to do even more because they're showing before, during, and after. But say they refer somebody 6 months down the road, once their pool is done or their project is done or their floors or, the big remodel's done, whatever, you're still going to send a gift card. You're going to send a thank you card and just say, hey, thank you so much for referrals. And what you're doing is you're teaching your past customers that you love referrals and that when they scratch your back, if you will, you'll scratch theirs. And who doesn't like getting a free $100 gift card or a restaurant gift card in the mail? Everybody does. And so I will tell you on your website, and when your person is answering the phone, hey, when you're putting that information into your database, your CRM or whatever you're using, one field should be, how did you hear about us? And then there should be another field. If they say I was referred by a friend, and then you write that person's name in there, you push enter, and then whether it's on the website, a lead, or you are talking to someone on the phone, when you generate that lead, it goes into the system. And then when you close out that deal, you'll see it says, hey, so-and-so referred us. Let's send them a thank you. Let's send them a gift card or something like that. You can't go wrong with this, folks. And I've seen not just the pool company, I've seen by treating your current customers well and just asking them for referrals, I've seen companies grow by so much more than just using the marketing arsenal. They are growing because other people are sharing their business, and it's really going viral. And so if you don't have this, it's something very easy that you can integrate. And I would highly suggest that you do it. So as we kind of close out today, I want to remind you of a couple of things. If you're interested in learning more about how to grow your service business, I want to encourage you to request our free resources on our website at Grow Inc. So we've got a free book. It's over 100 pages of our 4-step marketing process to grow service businesses like yours. You can get the book absolutely free. It comes in digital format, so you can read it through PDF, or if you want to read it on Kindle or on your Apple device or your Google device. So there's all of those formats available. We even have an audio copy where it can read it to you while you're on the road. Lastly, we have a checklist available of all of our tools. So as I've talked about different tools on our training, you can download those and you can go over there and pick up those tools. We don't get anything out of that. We're just suggesting, hey, these are some of the best tools you can use for setting up a marketing plan like we're training you on. And then there is a DIY marketing checklist for you to kind of check things off as you go. So I hope you've enjoyed learning a lot about the marketing we've been talking about. In our next episode, we're going to talk about Google Ads and basically how to dominate your local market using Google Ads. And so I hope you join us, and thank you again for listening and for your time and being part of the Grow Inc. audience. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. For more information about Grow Inc. and to request our free marketing blueprint ebook and other resources, please visit www.grow.inc. That's GRO.inc. We'll catch you in the next episode.